So are the Kappa Leaguers speaking up?
Good to see you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, good to see you too.
I'm Tyler Muse from Alexandria Fairfax Kappa League.
All right, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
All right.
So would you like me to kind of jump in here, Brother Breckenridge?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Go for it. The floor is yours, and all brothers and Kappa Leaguers too, go ahead and mute your mics. Any questions, I would suggest you move to the chat into the Q&A session after Brother Jones. So,
Okay, so today I'm gonna walk us through the actual making of the video. For a lot of us, if you have an Apple computer or an iPhone or iPad, you probably have a program called iMovie. And if you look where the cursor is, that's this purple star with the camera in between. With the camera in the middle. So when you click on iMovie, it's going to open up into these several boxes, and one of them is going to be called Create New, which you see here on the left of your screen. And when you click on that, you're going to get a choice between making a movie or a trailer. Either one of them works. The trailer, you're going to have less, it's going to be less of a news report and more of a kind of an overarching story of what your chapter did this year. And it's not going to have a voiceover, right? So this will just be music and pictures. And it's a reasonable enough place to start. What I'm going to talk about today is how we go about making the news reports and the basic nuts and bolts of doing it. So when I click on movie, it's going to open into something that looks like this. This will all be blank. And then you have these different sections. Let me stop back here so you can see it blank. So click on this, we click on movie. So what you'll have here then is at the bottom of the screen right here, it says drag and drop video clips and photos from the browsers to start your movie. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick videos from your computer. You're going to click this button, which then shows you on your computer what material you have there. We'll click on just to show it. Not that. So we'll click on KLTV Raw, which is how I have them set up. And we'll take one video, which is this OBA video. And then what you're going to do is you're going to import it. So down here at the bottom to the right, you see import selected video. So you click on that and the video shows up in your iMovie program here. Then you press down on the cursor and you drag and drop that video to this line. And now you have your first video that you're able to start editing for. So that's basically how you get started. Now I'm going to show you, does anybody have any questions so far? All right, does everybody out there, has anybody worked with iMovie before?
Have
iMovie on your phone or a pad?
Yes.
Okay. So this is basically how your iMovie works, and you can shoot videos on your telephone, right? And then you take your phone and you download that video into iMovie and you'll get the same thing, and you can cut your chapter videos right on your telephone. So we're going to go back out of this and I'm going to show you some movies that I've already cut. So let's go to this one. Let's go to this one with Brother Walter Bond. This was one of our videos. So when you look at this, you see all these different pieces, but it's basically this piece that I brought down just like I showed you. I imported the video. Then I imported this video of Walter that's about 6 minutes long. So you can see up here at the top of the screen, this is where you get the playback for your video as you scroll across the video down here. So you can go to any point in your video and stop or start. Okay, so now we got the first video in place. So now you watch my cursor. What are all these different things here? Well, these are ways that we input elements into the video to give more information and a better experience to the viewer. So the first thing we want to know is, who is this guy? Well, his name is Walter Bond. He's a side chapter initiate, an NBA veteran, and a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. So how did we get Walter Bond's information onto the screen? Well, if you follow the cursor up to the top, there's something called titles. And when you click on your titles, they have different titles, as you can see, that fit into different places on the screen. So if you want to put a title in the middle of the screen, standard is a good one. But the one that I like the most is this one's called standard lower third right here, because you're able to put titles in at the bottom of the screen, but you can still see the person's face while they're interacting. And one of the things we want to do on all of our videos is make sure you know who it is. So this is John Jones from Los Angeles alumni. This is Tyreek Boyd from Birmingham Kappa League. So we always know who it is that we're talking about. So when you click standard third right here, it shows up at the bottom of the screen, as you can see over here. And when you double click on it, watch what happens up here. Now I can change or type in any information I want. Right now it's Walter Bond. If I wanted to just change his name, Walter Jones, but we're going to keep it Walter Bond. So you can put in all the information that you want to have about the person who you're interviewing or the person that you're speaking, so we get a context of who they are. So now, as we go on further, the next thing is they're called inserts. And so when somebody is telling a story, you might want to insert a picture so it gives us a more personal sense of what that story is. So let's watch what we did here with Walter.
University of Minnesota. I played in the NBA for the Mavericks, Jazz, and Pistons. And now I'm an award-winning Hall of Fame motivational speaker. And I made a phrase brand, or a brand out of a phrase called the shark mindset. And it's real because the only way I made it to the NBA was my mindset.
Okay. So you can see that what we did there was we took a story and we laid pictures over the story so that it gives you more of a personal sense. So when you're making your news reports or any of your reports that you're going to turn into Kappa League TV, maybe you interview the president of the Kappa League, and he's telling you basically what the Kappa League did this year, what's important to the young men in Kappa League. Then what you can do is, while you're telling that story, drop in some pictures maybe of him leading a meeting, and then drop in another picture of the Kappa Leaguers out in an event, and then drop in another picture of the Kappa Leaguers doing some type of community service. And so you can use that part of it to help to personalize the pieces that you're creating. And even then, if you wanted to put in to highlight something that was said, you can use titles to do that as well. So
I don't care how old you are, you might be be 60. You might be 21. Don't matter to me. I'm just asking a simple question because as a former athlete, that's what it was all about, reaching your potential, right? And we always talk about, well, that kid was the first.
So we're able to drop in titles that help us to emphasize what the subject is talking about. And then finally, when we get to the end of our videos, we always want to put in a call to action. So the call to action that I put in is for subscriptions for Kappa League TV. But for your individual chapter, maybe you want to put in a call to action to donate to your chapter's foundation. Or maybe you want to put in a call to action that says to get more information about Kappa League, and you give them a phone number or an email address where they can contact you. But it's always, what we're always doing is showing them who we are, and then hopefully if they're moved by what they see, inviting them to take an action that will help us all to work together and will help for the growth and development of Kappa League. And so that's a few of the things. Now up here, we have also audio, which is, we don't deal with that much with Walter. So let me step out of this one because you might want to add some music to your video. So we're going to open up another video. And so you'll see here at the bottom of the screen, everything you see that's green, that's the music that you added that wasn't in the video originally. Now, where did this music come from? Up here, you have a button that says audio. You click on the audio button and it has sound effects. And then you can go through the sound effects and get different music that you think will I know, brother. I know, Tyler. It's like, I'm not going to play the acoustic sunrise on my stuff either. But so here's the music that we chose for this.
Kappa League TV.
Hey, everybody. This is John Marshall Jones. Now, if you take this music out, right here, you see arrows that go up and down. You can bring your music louder in volume, or you can take it all the way down. So without the volume, it sounds like this.
TV. Hey, everybody. This is John Marshall Jones. You probably already know me from TV, but what you might not know is that I'm the national spokesperson for Kappa Alpha Psi's Kappa League, the oldest and most successful African-American male mentorship program in U.S. history.
Okay. Very important part of what we're doing. Every time we talk about Kappa League, we follow it with the phrase, the oldest and most successful African-American male mentorship program in U.S. history, which is what we are. But people don't know that's what we are because we don't tell them. And from here on out, that's what we're going to do. But now, when you put the music on, it gives it a different flavor.
Kappa League TV. Hey, everybody. This is John Marshall Jones. You probably already know me from TV, but what you might not know is that I'm the national spokesperson for Kappa Alpha Psi's Kappa League, the oldest and most successful African-American male mentorship program in U.S. history.
Okay, so adding the music helps your videos to move along a little faster. So as you're cutting your videos together, if you feel like the video's a little long or it's dragging a little bit, try adding some music to it, because we all like to listen. It gets us more engaged on another level. It engages our ears as well as our eyes. And now you might see this little Kappa League symbol floating up in the corner. And it took me a while to kind of understand what that was. But when you bring one of these pictures down from your media, which was, you see this picture here is the one I brought down here. When you click on that picture, up here in the corner, right over where my picture is, where the cursor is in the viewing box, the box says picture in picture. So when you drop here, you can have a cutaway, which basically will put it over the whole picture. So if you wanted to cut to a photo like we did before, you choose that. Or you could choose a split screen, which then will take us so that you can put information on the side of the screen. And what I liked for this particular thing was doing a picture-in-picture, because the picture-in-picture then allows me to float information into the picture while we're doing it.
For Kappa Alpha Psi's Kappa League, the oldest and most successful African-American male mentorship program in U.S. history.
So basically what we're doing is we're taking something basic like this long string here, and then we're adding elements to it that make it more visually interesting or more interesting to listen to. Because all we're trying to do is keep people engaged for as much of the video as we possibly can. And by the time you get to the end of the video, then you want to have some kind of ask, which for this one was to come to the Black College Expo. One more thing I want to show you is this little button here. This is called a transition. So if you notice, the transition is fast, but watch what it does when you slide in and out. That makes the video move. So you look up here at the top where the cursor is and it says transitions. You click on that and you get a bunch of different things that you can make it do. So this one is a doorway, but if I took the doorway out and I replaced it with a spin, then I get a different effect.
All kinds of opportunities, and the best part is it's free. Check it out.
So depending on the effect that you want to get to keep your videos visually moving, you can use transitions in these spaces here where you're cutting from one piece of video to another. You don't have to just cut them. You can put transitions in that make it all interesting. And so I think that, you know, just for a basic kind of overview of how you use this piece of technology to create your videos, I think that's kind of about it. Did you guys have any questions? Did everybody kind of understand what we put together here? Does it look like something that that you can do or that you already knew how to do?
New to me, for sure. So
I can't hear you, Nope.
I know I'm going to try to do it, Brother Jones. I definitely need to do it for DFW Noops, what I do down here in Dallas. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
well, here's the thing, Noop. We all have video and pictures of our chapter on our telephone.
Correct.
And so what we're really doing is we're trying to get stuff from our telephone into a format where people can see it, right? So here's the other thing. If you notice, most of the Kappa League TV news reports have voiceovers, right? So the audio is running, but somebody else is talking and telling a story. So when you come to this part of the video right here, this microphone will allow you to record voiceover that you put underneath your news report. So right here, if you look, we got a picture. That's this part. Then you go down to the green and you have some music, but you don't have anything telling you what's going on. So why don't we put a voiceover to start right here? So we click and you see that bar turns yellow and it's got a little arrow on the top when you click on it. Okay, that means that's your starting point. Yellow bar with the arrow on top. Then when we click this microphone, it gives us this red dot here, and that's your record button. So now if you want to put a little voiceover, if I wanted to put a voiceover on the back end of this, I might say, Be sure, 3, 2. Be sure to come to the Black College Expo this Friday. It's something that you just can't miss. Now, we go back here and you'll see right at the bottom another green box. And this green box is your voiceover box. So you got music up here. You got what you just recorded down here. Let's see how it sounds. Be sure to come to the Black College Expo this Friday. It's something that you just can't miss. And so what you'll do here is you hear the music got a little low, so you'll bring the music back up. Be sure to come to the Black College Expo this Friday. It's something that you just can't miss. So each time you're able to add another element that gives another kind of level of entertainment to the people that are watching. So any thoughts, Kappa Leaguers? Any thoughts here?
No, not necessarily. I really like what you're doing. I like it. I might do one myself.
I agree. I'm sorry, Brother Jones. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to encourage the Kappa Leaguers to get on your iPhone or your iPad and just start playing with the idea of telling your own story. Because the reason why we came up with Kappa League, the real thing that started Kappa League TV, is that the media is telling a story of who young black men are, right? They love to catch a young brother in a hoodie doing something wrong so that then if the police beat up on him or kill him, they could say, oh, well, you know, he passed a fake $20 bill, so that's why we had to kill him. Or, oh, he was stealing some Skittles from the store, so that's why we had to kill him. What we want to do is give you, the Kappa Leaguers, the opportunity to tell your own stories and create your own narratives. Because there are millions of young black men out there that want to follow you. They want to follow some young black men that are smart and articulate and are bound for college and are keeping company with other black men who are smart and articulate and leaders in their community. There's millions of young men that want to do that, but they don't have any media influence that's telling them that that's something that's cool to do or that they can do it. So for instance, years ago, I did a show on television called The Smart Guy. And it was the first ever African-American genius on television. You can check it out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that was that stuck with most people that were young, people that were 10, 11, 12 years old, was that it suddenly made it cool for black boys to be smart, right? Black boys who spoke articulately, you know, with English and were really into school and, you know, tried to dress, you know, clean and maybe even preppy. They were always made fun of when they went to public school. But this show made it cool for black boys to be smart. And the impact of that flows all around the world. And the main thing that I get from young men now that are in their middle 30s that grew up on their show, they said, hey, I didn't have a father at home. You were the father I wished I had. That show made a lot of difference to me. You, as Kappa Leaguers, can do the same thing. You can create media content about being young and black in America that is completely unique to what I can create at 50-something years old. And your voice to these young men can be the calling card to tell those young men, hey, if you don't have any direction, if you don't have anybody showing you the way, I know somebody. Come with us. I know somebody. I know a way for you to get to college. I know a way for you to get through high school. I know a way where you can be around some men that can help you to get off of the streets where all the trouble is. Because when you're with us, there will be no trouble. So that's what this was all created about. So I encourage you and every Kappa Leaguer to start making your own videos and start telling your story. In fact, on Kappa League TV right now, there's a video from Alpharetta Smyrna chapter where they tell the story of two very unique Kappa Leaguers, one who's playing the cello at Carnegie Hall, and the other one who just won $15,000 because he became a music video director, and his videos became something that are now prize winning. Well, my question was, first off, that's amazing. And second off, how many more amazing Kappa League stories do we have out here in this entire country? How many more amazing young men like yourself have a story to tell? You know, and maybe it's not that you played at Carnegie Hall. Maybe it was that you met a homeless person and helped him find some place to live. That's every bit as impressive. So whatever your story is that tells us and people all over the world the story of what it's like to be an intelligent, articulate, forward-thinking, college-bound young black man in America, that's the stories that we want you to tell. And that's why I'm on here today showing you about iMovie, so you can go in there and it's not foreign anymore. Go in there and drop in some video, drop in some pictures, make a voiceover, pick some music, boom, you got a video. And the more you do it, the better you'll get.
Jones.
Yes, sir.
I hate to cut you off, but we got the agenda. We got Brother Norris is also presenting this evening, so we got to you got two presentations.
Oh, brother, listen, no problem. Thank you very much, Noops, and thank you, Kappa Leaguers.
All right, thanks, Brother Joe.